What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Game Plan Overtime Edition. I'm joined by my guest, JD from the GOAT District. JD, thanks for sticking around, recording a little OT with your boy.
Pleasure's mine, man. I had so much fun. I'm like, give me some more, man. Give me some more, Matty.
That's the best part of the OT is we have a good convo on the game plan. Then we take it here for a little OT session. If you haven't checked out the latest episode of the game plan, check it out. JD and Theo OG from Player Profile. We talk about high stakes fantasy, the ins and outs, some tips of the trade from two of the best in the space. So make sure you check that out. But JD, today we're going to switch it up here on OT. We're going to play a little over under. Nice. So I will present you a player and where they will finish this season on a points per game basis. Okay. And then you will answer over, under, and under will be better. So if I say wide receiver 12 and you say under, that means you think 11, 10, 9 okay. Better.
Okay. I would have got that wrong, so I'm glad you explained it.
You got to specify because whichever way, the person might not be on the same wavelength as you. So let's just dive right on into it. First player I'm going to bring up is CD Lamb. Finishes as wide receiver 3 on a points per game basis.
Love CD Lamb this year. I'm going to say over.
Okay.
I'd say he's closer to top 5, top 7, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. And it's not that I don't love Lamb. I think he's probably wide receiver 3 in Dynasty. But we're talking about just this year. You still have to factor in Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs. There's a grouping of players that can mash their way into that top 3. So I'm going to go with you.
The two are locked in already, right? With Chase and JJ. So it's hard to.
Yeah. It's so tough, right? They are locked. Do you think they're locked in at the 1-2? Are you comfortable saying they are the 1 and 2 this year? Finishers?
Yeah, 100%. It doesn't matter what format, what draft. They're the first 2 guys off the board, and sometimes you're seeing Chase ahead of JJ, vice versa. But those 2 are locked in as the 1 and 1. When you combine everything, age, offenses, quarterbacks, that kind of thing, can't beat it.
Absolutely. And if it doesn't translate, it's not bad process. It's going to be some anomaly that kind of hits that makes it happen.
Yeah.
Next guy on the list, Justin Herbert finishes as QB5.
That's like close. That's close. Yeah. I'm going to say over though. I'm going to say just over.
Yes. I'm going to go under because I think he could finish as high as QB4 this year. I mean, we know that he's got the laser rocket arm. He was the best money throw quarterback last year on playerprofile.com. And the rushing upside that he typically presents, which is around 300 yards and anywhere from 4 or 5 touchdowns. He had none of that last year. He had 147 rushing yards, 0 touchdowns. So I think there's some positive touchdown regression here. But if you pick the over, you are, he's battling with, we're talking Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence. That's the grouping that could push him out.
The first 2 I have ahead of him. That's why when
there it is.
The first 3 and then those 2, he sits in the 6-7 spot. So it's close though. It's close.
Next guy on the list, a rookie running back. Your boy it's his boy. Devon A-Chain finishes running back 35 on a points per game basis.
Oh, I'll take lower. I like A-Chain. I like what he offers. I like what he offers to that offense. And I think A-Chain, he's a big part of what we've done in Dynasty in the GOAT District with some teams that we built. And I like what he's got even in year 1.
Now, if Dalvin Cook signs with the Dolphins, what does that do for Devon A-Chain?
Well, for sure crushes. But one thing I do in life, like I do in fantasy, until it's a fact, I'm not too worried about it. I tell my wife all the time why he's stressing. Yeah. It's not reality yet. So for now, you could say that for any team, right? Same with Hopkins. Anyone can lose value. So once it happens, I'll deal with it. But right now, I like A-Chain in Miami.
I'm going to go the under 2. And I also think if Dalvin goes there, I don't know if it kills his value. It certainly suppresses it. But I think he's got that big playability. He only needs 10, 12 touches. And the rumor being that McDaniel, that was his guy. That was his target. And it is the nuts landing spot. So I'm going to go under there. Next guy is another favorite in the community. Chigoziem Okonkwo finishes as tight end 11 on a points per game basis.
Let me see where I have him. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much. I've got him like the 11, 12 spot, probably there. So I'll say over just because, maybe 10.5 is the line there.
I'm going to go with under here. I think he could safely finish inside the top 10 this year. And then, of course, like you said, though, it's not real until it's real. So D-Hop would nuke, pun intended, that is his nickname, but it would nuke his value, in my opinion. Because
Yeah,
we're
it
talking
wouldn't.
about
I mean, you could say it opens up the offense a bit more, but like, the more mouths are at a feed, especially if they bring in a guy like Hopkins and they pay him money, they're going to want to pepper him with targets, right? And that does take away
yeah.
from anyone else in that offense.
And we need Chig. If you're a believer in Chig, you need that volume uptake. He already proved he can be efficient because of how athletic he is. He needs that volume, and D-Hop is the volume crusher. Let's go a little rapid fire with these next few guys. Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver 40.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, I like Addison year one more than JSN a little bit, just because of he's got two guys like in Lockett and Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see kind of where I've got him. I'm gonna say I'll take the over. I'll take the over year one.
I'm going to take the over too.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
I'll take the over year one. I think year two he's gonna be great. So if you can get him at a discount before that, but I think for 2023, I'm more comfortable with Lockett and Metcalf.
You mentioned again, not real until it's real. Once he noticeably takes over the Lockett portion of the offense, it's the sky's the limit for JSN. But because 100%. We don't know that could suppress the value. So I'm going to go over because I think Tyler Lockett is still a very good player. Next up, Antonio Gibson, running back 25.
I love Gibby this year. I think he's such a good value, especially with the enemy coming into the offense. You got to think they're going to get more creative, and he's just a perfect kind of player to fit into that scheme. You said running back
25, so it would be 24 or better.
Oh, that's pretty high.
Or 26 or worse.
I'm going to take the over. The running back position is really deep this year, so I'm going to take the over. As much as I like Gibby, I think he's maybe a bit outside of that.
I gotta agree with you, and there are rumblings that they are still sniffing around those veteran running backs. Come on, Washington. What are you doing? You have a bell cow in your backyard. Just use the man the way you should. Kyle Pitts, tight end 5.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the 3-4 probably locked in, so he's probably there. I'll you know what? I'll take the under on this one. I'll take the other one. I'm pretty bullish on him. I mean, he could go either way. I think you're right on the line there, like 5-5 maybe is kind of the line. But I'll take the under. I think that offense surprises, and I think Desmond Ridder is a surprise for us this year.
Ooh, great tidbit. I'm glad you brought that. I am going to go over, though, and it's really not about the Pitts. It's more about Dallas Goedert, George Kittle, and Darren Waller. I think could be really good producers this year. But Kyle Pitts' season, is it amongst us? I certainly want to see it. Jordan Love, QB 20.
I am bullish. More bullish, I guess you could say, on Jordan Love versus anyone else. I think, you think back when Rodgers first came on, for those that are old enough, and, nobody was saying he's going to be the QB1 or win multiple MVPs or any of that. You know what I mean? So I think there's something in guys just hanging back and soaking in offenses, being an NFL quarterback, all of that. Having said that, you said QB 20? 20, I'll go over. He's just over for me.
I'm going under. I have massive expectations for Love. I think if I were to say if the line was QB 15, I think I still would even say potentially under.
Okay.
I love his ceiling. I love that offense. And I think that there's something to be said about Matt LaFleur inherited a team that was really Rodgers' team. This year, with his first round pick, it's his team, and I believe he's a good offensive mind. I love that offense this year, so I'm going to go under for Jordan Love. Adam Thielen, wide receiver 60.
Whew. I think Thielen is the perfect kind of year, 1 year depth piece, I guess, on your you said wide receiver 50?
60. Yes. So is he basically it comes down, is he someone that people should be targeting later in drafts?
I think
if you're going to call the under, then you're going to get him at a value. Yeah.
No, I think he is. I think he's around there. He's in that 6th, he's kind of in that range. Mm-hmm. Again, like we said, it's really flat when you get to those depths at the wide receiver position. I think year one, he's going to command targets from a rookie quarterback. So I like seeing, kind of like we saw Steve Smith with Cam back in the day. I think you might see a bit of that with Thielen, because you got to remember, what's his name, the rookie they brought in. He's Mingo. He's still going to be adapting and, learning the NFL and all that. So I think Thielen, especially the first half of the season, I think can be a little surprise on your bench.
Yeah, I've been saying it for weeks. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going under because I think Thielen in PPR formats will be a sneaky play.
Yeah.
DJ Shark, Jonathan Mingo, Hayden Hurst, Miles Sanders, they're good enough to build a complete offense, and Thielen won't have to necessarily dominate and win every route to get the ball. He's going to have to find those pockets in the zone and kind of and play friendly role for a rookie quarterback. So I think in PPR, he's an absolute value there. Deshaun Watson, QB 10.
Ooh, I just took Deshaun Watson as my QB2 in a super flex. I am definitely more bullish on Watson this year. Yeah, he's kind of right there. I'm gonna say under, and I think that they're like the guys that he could finish ahead of are like the Dak Prescotts, the Trevor Lawrence, and the Justin Fields. I don't know that he's gonna get past the Herberts and all that. I mean, look, he was a top quarterback at one point back in the day, but I for sure am seeing a bounce back season with Watson. I like the pieces they added, even Elijah Moore out there in Cleveland. So I think he has a chance to finish above top 10.
The Browns continuously tell us that they want to throw the ball more. Trading for Elijah Moore, drafting Cedric Tillman. They want to chuck the rock. They did not bring in any more running backs. They're like, Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford, you are our guys. We're going to let Deshaun Watson in his $200+ million guaranteed contract win us some football games in a division that's becoming more and more offensive minded, which we're going to love for fantasy football. Because what we all hate more than anything was the Baltimore-Pittsburgh matchup that finished 10-13 in November when we need these wins the most. So
that could be my favorite division to stack right now in the last couple of months in best balls and redrafts.
Yes, they are going to have to duke it out. Cincinnati, Baltimore, Cleveland, they're even Pittsburgh. They're all going to have good offenses, and they're going to have to battle it out. Last one, and I'm going to get you out of here, and it's my boy, DJ Moore. Wide receiver 24 for DJ Moore.
Nice. I laugh because I bought myself some DJ Moore to pair up with my Fields share. You said wide receiver
24. So a top, he's at that threshold to be wide receiver 2 in fantasy.
Yeah, he's just outside of that for me. So I'm going to do the over. He's just outside for me just because I'm looking at the names I have ahead, and I'm going to have to see him in that offense. But I actually do like DJ Moore, and I feel like he's the kind of guy, if the owner that has him doesn't believe in Fields, you could probably get him at a good dynasty right now. But I think he's a good price where he's going, but there's guys that I like better than him, just the offenses that they're in especially.
I'm going under, baby. You already know. If you follow me, I'm going DJ Moore all day long. I do think, we're looking at the top 24. We're looking at the Christian Kirks, Amari Coopers, Deontay Johnsons, Terry McLaurin's. I think he could be better than that as the wide receiver 1 in Chicago with a hopefully better offense. JD, this was awesome. Thank you so much for sticking around for the OT period. And make sure you come on back and check out that episode that we just recorded of the Game Plan Talking High Stakes because it was a good one. Peace.